Intro, think you're brave? These 10 homes have driven people to flee, and some never left. Today, we are going to count down the top 10 most haunted houses you must avoid at night, places so terrifying they've become legendary. But here's the twist. For every ghost story, there's a real story. We're going to dive into the bone-chilling tales that make these places famous, and then we're going to hit you with the cold, hard facts that historians have uncovered. We're separating the spooky from the proven, the phantoms from the paperwork. Get ready for a whirlwind tour of terror and truth. 10 stops. 8 minutes. Spine-tingling facts delivered fast. Chapter 1. Kicking off our list, a house that needs no introduction. 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville, New York. The legend is insane. In 1975, the Lutz family moved in, just 13 months after Ronald DeFeo Jr.'s murders. The Lutzes lasted only 28 days before being driven out by demonic forces. Green slime oozing from the walls, swarms of flies in the dead of winter. A secret red room, terrifying apparitions. It became a best-selling book and a blockbuster movie. George woke at 3:15 every morning. Kathy levitated. Missy had an imaginary friend named Jody, a pig-like demon with glowing red eyes. A priest claimed a demonic voice screamed, "Get out!" and fled. The story captured the world's imagination. But here's the cold, hard truth. No police records of calls during those 28 days. The priest later said the story was exaggerated. No physical evidence for green slime or a demonic pig. William Weber admitted they created the story over bottles of wine. They planned a fabricated haunting to sell a book. Lawsuits followed. Weber sued for profits. The murders are real. The haunting looks like a cash story. The house is just a house, but the legend lives on. Now for a house where true crime and the paranormal collide. The Lizzie Borden house in Fall River, Massachusetts. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. On a sweltering August morning in 1892, Andrew and Abby Borden, a wealthy but frugal couple, were brutally murdered. Their daughter Lizzie was the prime suspect. The trial was a media sensation. Fact: Lizzie Borden was acquitted in a court of law. Guests report hearing a woman weeping, seeing ghostly figures in Victorian clothing, and feeling phantom touches, especially in the room where Abby was killed. 2 people were horrifically murdered, and the case was never officially solved. The prosecution had a weak circumstantial case. No weapon recovered, no blood on Lizzie's clothes. The haunting seems to be a direct result of an unsolved, horrific crime, a house haunted by history and the question, if Lizzie didn't do it, who did? Our third stop takes us to St. Francisville, Louisiana, and the Myrtles Plantation, one of America's most haunted homes. The tragic story of Chloe, caught eavesdropping, ear cut off, a poisoned birthday cake meant to sicken the family, but the wife and 2 daughters died. Chloe was hanged and thrown into the river. Her ghost in a green turban haunts the grounds. The Chloe photograph allegedly shows her apparition. Visitors report children bouncing on beds, phantom footsteps, and dread. But historians found big problems. Records show the family did not die from poison. They died from yellow fever. No record of an enslaved person named Chloe at the plantation, nor a poisoning. The tale appears to have been popularized by a 20th century owner to sell a haunted story. The photo likely a double exposure or film anomaly. Now prepare yourselves. The LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans, perhaps the most gruesome legend in American hauntings. Madame Delphine LaLaurie, a glamorous socialite on the surface, a sadist behind closed doors, torturing enslaved people in a secret attic chamber. In 1834, a fire exposed a real-life horror show. Contemporary newspapers document enslaved people found shackled, mutilated, suspended. Details shocking the city. A furious mob ransacked the house. LaLaurie fled to Paris and died there years later, historically verified. Unlike many haunted houses, the terror here isn't myth, it's documented atrocity. Later owners reported noises, apparitions, a heavy atmosphere, echoes of real suffering. While some details grew in the retelling, the core is undeniable. The mansion's legend is built on a foundation of human cruelty, proof that history can be more horrifying than any ghost story. Next up, San Jose, California, the Winchester Mystery House. Legend says a psychic warned Sarah Winchester she was haunted by victims of the Winchester rifle. Build forever or die. For 38 years, construction never stopped. Stairs to ceilings, doors to drops, secret passages, a window in the floor, seances for nightly blueprints, footsteps, voices, turning doorknobs, a ghost trap on a massive scale. Fact: no evidence a psychic warned her, likely a tourism myth after her death. Sarah was wealthy, grieving, and philanthropic, employing craftsmen for decades, often without a master blueprint, plus heavy 1906 quake repairs. Less ghosts, more a singular mind with unlimited funds. In Estes Park, Colorado, the Stanley Hotel, the real-life spark for Stephen King's The Shining. He dreamed his son was chased by a fire hose. He woke with the novel's plot. Guests now flock to room 217 for hauntings. Luggage unpacked, lights flickering, a housekeeper's ghost. Fact: reports of hauntings became common after The Shining. The hotel leaned in, tours, merch, stories. The Stanley's haunted fame is a masterclass in promotional folklore. A modern narrative sparked by a writer's nightmare and fanned by clever marketing. Villisca, Iowa, June 9, 1912. 2 parents, 4 children, and 2 visiting girls, all bludgeoned in their beds. Disembodied children's voices, objects move, get out, caught on tape, spirits trapped, reliving final moments. The crime scene was contaminated by crowds. 1912 forensics were primitive. Suspects ranged from a minister to a senator to a serial killer. No charges stuck. The hauntings are rooted in the weight of an impossible mystery. Waverly Hills, Louisville, TB's Bleak Fortress, Body Shoot, Shadow People, a nurse in room 502, a boy named Timmy rolling a ball. Fact: the famous 63,000 deaths figure is a huge exaggeration, though thousands died over decades. The chute was a supply tunnel later used for bodies. Many named ghosts lack documentation and likely grew with modern tours. Real suffering plus ruin equals perfect ghost story conditions. In Long Beach, the Queen Mary's dual past, luxury liner, and Waddy Gray ghost fuels claims of sailors, ladies in white, and a cursed stateroom B340. A crewman crushed by a watertight door, children in the pool. B340 once sealed, now reopened to capitalize on fear. The ship's log holds true tragedy. During WWAM, it accidentally sliced its escort, HMS Curacoa, killing 200 plus. After retirement in 1967, haunted tours amplified and embellished the lore. Life, death, and drama surround the liner. Ghost stories are a modern way to package that weight for thrill seekers. Our final stop, Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, one of the most influential prisons ever built. When it opened in 1829, it aimed to inspire penitents through extreme solitary confinement. Live, eat, work alone, with only a Bible. Fact: the method drove many inmates to psychological collapse. The prison became a crucible for isolation and despair. Whispers, cries, laughter in crumbling blocks, darting shadows, footsteps in empty tears, a locksmith overcome by a dark force. Al Capone haunted by a victim. The prison's design enforced isolation. Overcrowding and mental harm ended the system, but operations lasted until 1971, now preserved in authentic ruin. There is no scientific proof of ghosts, but the building embodies documented suffering, madness, and despair. The prison itself is the ghost. And that's our tour of 10 of the most legendary haunted locations in America. From Amityville's brutal murders to Eastern State's solitary cells, every place soaked in history. We've heard vengeful spirits, demonic pigs, shadow people, and seen truth tangled with tragedy, clever marketing, and the power of an unsolved case. The line between haunted and historically heavy is blurry. The real question is, does it matter? Whether it's a ghost in room 217 or a creaky old hotel, the feeling is real. Fear, curiosity, that shiver down your spine. So, haunted or history, you decide. Which location scared you the most? The real-life horror of LaLaurie or the unsolved Villisca nightmare? For more Fear Then Fact deep dives, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Thanks for watching. And, try to sleep well tonight.